We're kind of making fun of RV, Class A, B, C, OMG, really kind of like WTH. Hi there, my name is Scott Watson and welcome to my channel, Go Small, Live Large. We are dedicated to RV living, adventure travel, and RV entrepreneurship. Today I wanted to share the 5-step process that I developed as I sought my perfect RV. And it's really overwhelming. There's so many brands, so many price points, so many floor plans. It was just really overwhelming for me. What I want to do is kind of boil it down to 5 simple steps to helping you choose your perfect RV. Step number 1, lifestyle vision. The first question I really wanted to answer was, what do I want to do while I'm on the road in my RV? And I came up with a series of words: explore, learn, share, be inspired, keep moving, document, and repeat. So those are the words that came to mind when I answered the question, what do I want to do while I'm on the road? The next question I wanted to answer is, how do I want to live in the RV? Again, a series of words came to mind. I want to be a minimalist. I wanted to be nimble. I really want to be able to be completely off the grid, not dependent on any system. I wanted a total sense of freedom. I wanted to be able to go anywhere and really do anything based on what I was interested in. So how did I want to live in the RV? Just be 100% free. Was this adventure going to be part-time or full-time? We decided a phased-in approach was more appropriate. I'd stay working on my job. I'd do part-time RV living, have extended weekends and maybe some time off here and there. Another question I wanted to answer is, can I be a minimalist and do with far fewer things? Now, for me, this was a foundational question that I was so ready to get into that state of mind. I am totally set to travel with just the essential things that I need. All to me, it's a mindset of downsizing. Another question that I wanted to answer is, how far did I want to travel between stops? And I didn't really see this as driving long distances and then parking for weeks and months. To me, that's kind of Class A living, totally fine, just wasn't my gig at all. What I want to do is keep moving. I want to roll into small towns. I want to hang out in big cities. I want to enjoy scenic vistas. I want to camp in Mother Nature or in RV park. How long did I want to stop for? Well, it could be one night, a few days, maybe a week, heck, a few weeks. It really all depended on what I had going, what the stop had to offer, and where my interest took me. Another question, was the RV my home, a rolling office and video studio, or a gathering place? Well, yes, and yes. To me, it had to be all three. It certainly was my home. It certainly was the place I was going to call my office and where I worked a lot, and I probably even saw it as a video studio. And I definitely wanted to have a place where I could invite friends and family to join me. And those friends would be old friends I'd known a long time or brand new friends I just met that day. I really wanted to have it to be a gathering place, whether that was inside the rig or outside, gathered around the table. Another question I really worked to answer is, how much space do I really need? And what I found is the 23 footers were too big, the 19 footers were too small, the 21 footers were just perfect. So this again started to formulate what kind of a rig did I want. A few more questions. Did I want to have overnight guests? Now this becomes important in a Class B camper van because most of them can only accommodate 2 people. But as I started to think about this, while it's primarily me going solo, Kyle, my partner, would join me on occasion, but there's going to be those occasions when we want to have a family member or another couple join us, and all of a sudden having the ability to sleep 4 people really became important. So I decided that it needed to sleep 2 comfortably, but have the possibility to sleep 4 people for a short duration of time. And just a couple more questions remain that I looked to answer. Did I want big and flashy or small and stealthy? What I didn't want is a big rig that when somebody saw me rolling into town parking in a parking lot. I didn't want the rig to scream, "Hey, look at me, I'm a giant RV." So smaller, more discreet really became key. And even a neutral exterior color became a decision point. Again, because I didn't want it to yell out and scream, "Look at me," but I did want it to not be boring. And then the last question that came up to really answer was, what about renting the RV for some of the time? And this became an important question because I saw it as a way to offload some of the monthly costs. If I was packing and traveling appropriately, I could pull a few personal bins out of personal items, and I could rent the RV while I stayed, say, at some family's house or a friend's house for 2, 3, 4 days, maybe a week. I could rent the RV for those times when I'm in those longer term stays. Rental fees, rental income would actually offload some of my monthly costs. And by doing some research on places like RV Share and Outdoorsy, I quickly learned that the amount of inventory available in some of these places was really quite small, meaning there was an opportunity to put my rig up without a lot of competition, and I could rent it for $300 to $400 per night. So 2, 3, 4 nights rented to a nice renter would cover most of my monthly expenses. So that became a really important way to extend my time on the road. But I would use that questioning tool to help refine your focus and your vision for lifestyle living. And I give a big thumbs up to our friends at Keep Your Daydream, KYD as they like to call it, and I'll put the link to their channel down below, because again, they have a really great video segment on bringing your vision together around this first question around lifestyle. How do you want to live in an RV? The outcome of step 1 for me became being nimble, have a 21-foot Class B motor coach that could sleep up to 4 people, but slept 2 very comfortably. Had a dedicated bed, very important. Had a good interior and rooftop storage. Had full off-grid capability, and it was easy to rent. Step 2, should I build out an RV or should I buy one? Do I buy new or do I buy used? So while Kyle and I have done many rehab projects, I had 0 experience remodeling an RV. And really I had 0 desire or time or probably specialized skills to remodel or build out an RV on my own. So I quickly moved from building to buying an already existing, manufactured RV. If you're into the building on your own, there's some really great YouTube channels. Eamon and Beck are one of my favorites. I too will link them down below in the notes here. I considered a used RV, and there seemed to be a fair amount of conversation in the RV community about, do I buy new or do I buy used? A couple of my heroes, Heath and Alicia Paget, really recommend your first RV be a used RV. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. Depreciation, somebody else has fixed all the problems. I decided was to buck their considerable advice and buy new. There's really 2 justifications to buying new for me. First of all, when I looked at the Class B resale values, and I did research on things like RV Trader, I found that a Class B camper van, the resale values were really very high. Even though the unit might be a 2015-16 year camper van, they were still commanding $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Well, you can get a brand new one for 80 to 100 grand. So for those extra dollars, I thought, hey, I could have the latest innovations in the camper world, Class B, and I could have a factory warranty. So that was one of my justifications. The other justifications was I really got the features that I was looking for. Again, based on my vision, being 100% able to work off the grid and not have a generator running. Outcome of step 2, I got a $100,000 budget total, and I was going to finance a new rig. Step 3 was floor plan. And for me, this was really the most challenging part of the decision process. Really struggling with a dedicated bed versus a dinette that converts to a bed. The other thing I spent a tremendous amount of time thinking through, again, back to my lifestyle vision, what does that look like? How am I going to live in this unit? Having a functional toilet and shower in terms of size on the shower. And as I, again, looked at more and more of the Class B coaches by big brands, Pleasureway, Coachman, Road Trek, most of them had a bed dinette seating area flip-flop situation where you had to set it up or take it down every day to get functionality on one side or the other. As I started again to look at this dedicated bed, large size bathroom, shower in particular, the Travato by Winnebago really came into focus for me. The 59G really started to pique my interest. Now, when I initially saw it the first time, it felt a little tight, a little dark, but as I started to spend time in it, and I started to thoroughly look at that floor plan and my needs, I discovered that it did have a front dinette, and with the cab seat spun around, I could seat 5 people around that table. I discovered that I could leave all my work gear on the table and retire to bed in the bedroom in the back without having to reset the dinette and take all my gear down. The dinette could convert to a sleeping surface for up to 2 people. So it met my goal of sleeping up to 4 people in the van. The galley was hugely functional. The bathroom, very functional, especially as a shower. And at 21 inches wide, 51 inches deep, I could take a shower kind of standing sideways, but nonetheless I could fully stand and take a shower very comfortably. I wouldn't have to sit on the toilet like so many of the other Class B bathrooms would make one do. And the toilet was a traditional, RV style toilet. It wasn't cassette and it wasn't composting. So I was quickly checking off a lot of my must-haves with the Travato G. And the last thing was the bedroom, the sleeping surface. With the Murphy style bed, if you want to put your bed away, it's up against the wall, and then when you go to bed, you can put it down, or you can just leave it down full time, which is probably what I would end up doing. By doing that, under the bed had a tremendous amount of storage, garage storage space, if you will. If I needed to get something, I simply lift the bed up, get to the storage, and then put the bed back down. And what I found is, by spending time in the Travato 59G, I really had 4 distinct living areas, 4 rooms, if you will. So the outcome of step 3 was 4 functional rooms, Winnebago, Travato, 59G, check. So step number 4 in my 5-step process was around color. Now, color is really a subjective and personal thing. But to me it was important, again, because of how I wanted to live, work, play, entertain, see or not be seen in the RV. So to me, color was more than just a personal choice. It was part of the living experience. So step 4, color. Outcome of that for me was bright silver deluxe exterior, Noche wood interior, and the blue fabric collection, which curiously named only refers to a very small fraction of what it's actually blue highlights. But was, to me, really the best looking color combination of all. So step number 5, and the final step, was around options. The Travato 59G, new 2019 model year, had a lot of new previous options that were now standard. Additional options that were very compelling to me to add on top of what already came standard. And by adding those features, I found that I would have the latest and the greatest in the Class B camper van world, and they were really appealing to me on their individual merit. But the biggest option of all, that was really, it took a few weeks to really nail this down because it was so expensive, was to choose the Pure 3 lithium power system developed by Volta and partnered with Winnebago to put inside the Travato. My perfect RV boils down to this: a 2019 Winnebago Travato GL in bright silver deluxe exterior with Noche and blue interior color palette. It has a Pure 3 lithium power system by Volta, and every option available I chose. And my budget, if you remember back, is about $100K. I'm just over budget at $104,000. So after much research and using this decision process, I have my 59 GL Travato on order. The delivery date is late September, early October. It's going to be the longest 4 months of my life. I can't wait to get inside my perfect RV. And just to recap what those 5 steps are, is what's your RV lifestyle? Do I buy or build, new or used? What's the floor plan look like? How does that fit into my step number 1, my lifestyle? Step 4, color palette, inside and outside. And the 5th is, what are the options that I need to make my lifestyle valid? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and like it. Better yet, join me on my journey. It's just getting started. So subscribe to my channel. Drop me a note. Ask me a question. I'd love to engage with you directly and start a dialogue and help you choose your RV. Let me know which RV you ended up choosing. And a big shout out to all those heroes in the YouTube channel, got them in the notes below, that have helped me really bring this whole vision into reality. So thank you again for watching. Until we meet again, I wish you safe travels. Go small, live large.